namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vachaline Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Ascharya Deshasarine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vachaline Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Ascharya Deshasarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Good morning, Hare Krishna, everybody. Welcome to our Sunday Bhagavat Sravana program. We're so happy to have you here. First, thank you so much to our Kirtaniyas for starting us off today. So before we get into our program, we have a very exciting speaker joining us. I just wanted to check to see, is this anybody's first time at Bhakti Center? Welcome. What's your name?
Emma.
Emma. So nice to have you here. How did you hear about the program?
I looked it up.
Oh my God, using the tools available. I love it. Thank you so much for being here. We're really glad to have you. Yeah, of course. So just to give everyone a lay of the land, so we just started off with some kirtan. Then we will have a wonderful class given by His Grace Vrindavan Prabhu, who is visiting us. After we have class, we will have some more kirtan and an arti ceremony. And then we will have prasadam in the back. So without prasadam, thank you so much for asking. It is sanctified food. It's all vegan. This is food that has been offered to Radha Muralidhar with love and devotion before we eat it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Such a good point. Okay, so without further ado, I would love to welcome our speaker to come join us. So everybody, please welcome His Grace Vrindavan Prabhu. So please know that any introduction that I provide is actually just a short excerpt from his very illustrious background. So please know it's much more than what I'm sharing today. He has been part of ISKCON for more than 40 years. He has been serving faithfully. He came into contact with ISKCON first in 1974 and then joined full-time as a preacher in 1984. And he's dedicated his life to serving humanity. He is one of the most senior disciples of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and a pioneer in opening Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Temple in Chowpatty. If anyone's had the chance to visit, it's very, very special. He served there as their first head pujari. Later, under the instructions of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he opened and developed successful preaching centers all over India and Pittsburgh, New Vrindavan in the US as well. He's held truly countless leadership positions as temple presidents, head pujari, temple commanders, accountants, preaching leaders, spiritual mentors, and many, many more positions. He's also written a book on the life and teachings of Saint Tukaram, of which thousands of copies have been distributed, and he's working on another book currently. We are so lucky and blessed to have you here. So please, big 3 Hari Bols for our speaker today, His Grace Vrindavan Prabhu. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रील प्रभुपाद की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you very much for coming for this wonderful satsanga, and thank you all the devotees of Shri Radha Muralidhar giving me this opportunity to serve all of you. So today we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 39 and text number 8. Sorry, Chapter 30. So text number 8, this is Krishna is speaking to Prachin Parishit after they performed the austerities, and he appeared in front of them. And there were many sons, so Prachin Parishit. So he is happy to see all of them are cooperating and working together. So this verse, Sri Bhagavanu Vacha Varnam Rudnidhya Badrambo Yuvam Me Nrupanandanaha Sauvardhana Prutamadharmastushtoham Sohrude Navaha. So the translation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear sons of the King, I am very much pleased by the friendly relationship amongst you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, that is devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction of me." The purport by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Since the sons of King Prachin Parishit were all united in Krishna consciousness, the Lord was very pleased with them. Each and every one of the sons of King Prachin Parishit was individual soul, but they were united in offering transcendental service to the Lord. The unity of the individual souls attempting to satisfy the Supreme Lord or rendering service to the Lord is real unity. In the material world, such unity is not possible. Even though people may officially unite, they all have different interests. In the United Nations, for instance, all the nations have their particular national ambitions, and consequently they cannot be united. Disunity between individual soul is so strong within the material world that even in the society of Krishna consciousness, members sometimes appear disunited due to their having different opinions and leaning towards material things. Actually, in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be two opinions. There is only one goal, to serve Krishna to one's best ability. If there is some disagreement over service, such agreements to be taken as spiritual. Those who are actually engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be disunited in any circumstances. This makes the Supreme Personality of Godhead very happy and willing to award all kinds of benedictions to his devotees, as indicated in this verse. We can see that the Lord is immediately prepared to award all benedictions to the sons of King Prachin Bharishat. So this is very, very important verse, as Prabhupada himself is commenting, because we are trying to achieve that is something impossible in this material world. Something impossible. That is unity amongst all living entities. So why? Because especially this is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, Kali Yuga. So therefore, you will find that there are difference of opinion about each topic in material world. So one of the quality of this Kali Yuga is Manda Sumanda Matayo. Everybody has their own opinion about everything, especially when it comes to dharma or religion. Even if they don't know, but still they will say something about it. So that is the, so many people are talking about dharma, but they don't even know what they are talking. Correct? So how do you know what is the real opinion? So that is the opinion of the Lord, which Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. Eme matamidam nityam anutishtanti manava sraddhavanto anutujanto muchanti tepi karmabhi. So Krishna says that this is my opinion. Eme matamidam nityam. This is eternal. Anutishtanti manava. This is for the betterment of all humanity, to uplift the all humanity from the ignorance. Manutishtanti sraddhavanto. One who accepts this with faith, and anusuyanto, without envy. There has to be faith, and simultaneously there has to be no envy in the heart towards the Lord, because that is the reason we are here, because we are envious. So when we are envious of the Lord, that is the cause we are envious of everyone in this material world. We don't like any competition. I want to be supreme all the time. That is the envy. But the original envy is towards Krishna, because we don't like him to be the controller. So that's why Krishna says, okay, you cannot be controller here, you can go and try. So we come here, and that's why we have that controlling propensity. Everywhere we go, we want to be controller. So we can see that competition in this material world, especially those who are working in a job in corporate world, correct? Everybody wants to become boss. Nobody wants to become a servant, correct? So boss, boss on boss. That is the correct. But Krishna consciousness completely 360 degree. Das, dasa, no das. So it's a complete shift of consciousness, correct? Complete shift of consciousness. So once we start practicing Krishna consciousness, this is the greatest impediment. If you try to look Krishna consciousness with material vision and try to understand Krishna by material intelligence, it is very, very difficult, almost impossible. So therefore, here Lord is so happy to see all the sons of Prachin Bharishit, they are working together. So there is only one thing that can bring all souls together in this material world, and that is our relationship with the Supreme Lord. So therefore, the Brahmana, who is supposed to be in the highest consciousness, so he sees all living entities as part and parcel of the Lord. He don't look at the bodies. Just like when we meet our friends or relatives, we don't look at their clothes. We look at the person inside the cloth. So the realized soul, he don't look at the bodies. He looks at the soul within the body. It doesn't matter whatever externally or whatever materially his situation in this material world. And that is why we see in the 4th chapter where that verse comes, tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. You should approach a bona fide spiritual master and learn from him the truth and offer him some service. So the very next verse explains what do we learn from the spiritual master. And that verse goes yajñātvā napunar moham. It says that you learn to see all living entities and are parts and parcels of Krishna, and they are related to Krishna. So in that relationship only you are seeing the truth. You are seeing the truth. The most of our disagreements are on the platform of this body, or relative truth, that is the body. If you think about different bodies, then they have different conditionings. So Krishna explained this, what is samadhi. Samadhi means all things are in one level. Therefore Krishna explains how this body is divided. Because we see only body, and that's what only we know. Therefore Krishna explains this body. He says, Indriyani paranyahur indriyobhya paramana manasastu parabuddhir buddhiryo parasastu sa. He said, beyond these blunt senses, these are all called blunt senses. They are dead. These senses are dead. They don't work or can't work on their own. Everybody has seen a dead body. That's why this body is actually dead. So what is it making work? And then this body is controlled. Beyond this body, it said indriyobhya param mana, there is a mind. And manasastu para buddhir, beyond the mind there is intelligence. And beyond that is the ego and soul, parasastu saha. So all this, when they are in one level, then only there can be samadhi or peace. But in Kali Yuga, you see all these are fragmented. Completely they are divided. Body wants something, mind wants something, intelligence says something, ego has something, and soul wants something. So therefore what happens? Prahlad Maharaj explains, sada samudvigna dhyam asadgrahat. That means samudvigna, people in Kali Yuga are always disturbed, always stressed. What is the reason? Asadhyat. They have thought about body itself is everything. They don't consider the mind, intelligence, ego, and the soul. So that is why samadhi means everything on one level of soul. No. According to the soul, the ego works. According to the ego, intelligence works. According to ego, that I am soul, intelligence working, mind is working, and your body is acting. Now what happens in Kali Yuga, we are other way around. Our body is telling mind what to do. And mind is trying to get the help of intelligence to gratify the senses. And the ego is so big that more you feed him, more he wants in this material world. But we are not any of this. So correct. But the soul is hankering for love for Krishna. And serve Krishna, because that is its constitutional position. Bhavevamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana. We are eternally connected to Krishna. And when we forget that, immediately you are transferred into illusion. There is no second. Immediately. So this is why to be in an institution, be in a Vaishnava community is, if we are here with some selfish motive and with some personal agenda, then it is going to be difficult. As Prabhupada mentions here, here in New York, you can see there is United Nations, right? How many flags are there? Correct? So many flags are there. I don't even remember how many. So, but they're together as a flags. But if you see the reality, the whole world is fighting against each other. Its country is fighting each other. Correct? So why is that? Because our goal, our main constitutional position we have forgotten. So it's difficult to change from, especially in Kali Yuga, because the symptom of Kali Yuga is, quarrel and hypocrisy. And why we get into quarrel and hypocrisy? Because of two reasons. There is one is lack of communication, and the second is lack of understanding. So that disrupts everything Even husband and wife in Kali Yuga cannot stay together. What to speak of husband and wife? Mind and intelligence cannot stay together in Kali Yuga. And body and mind doesn't stay together. That's why disturbance. So, how come in Vedic literature, Vedic culture, whole, all earth planet was united under the umbrella of Amrish Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj. And you can see Amrish Maharaj, he is the embodiment of performing all the 9 Namavidha Bhakti. He is in the temple worshipping the deities, he is sweeping the floors of the temple, he is dancing with the devotees, he is hearing katha, he is serving the devotees. How a king can spend all his day in the temple? Can you imagine how a king can spend all the day in his temple? Because by his example, he is teaching all his citizens how our day should be engaged. So everybody is engaged in Krishna's service. So there is no fighting. And there is no administration also, because everybody is doing what they are supposed to do. So the king has nothing to do for administration. Everything is, all the material resources, people are using it, understanding they belong to God. They don't waste water, they don't waste air, they don't waste food, because everyone has an understanding that everything belongs to God and everything is meant for the service of God. And therefore, they are using this under the instruction of Krishna, God. And therefore, the whole society is peaceful. And unless we are peaceful, we cannot think about Krishna. No. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, the first priority of a devotee should be his mind should be peaceful. And how it is possible to keep that mind peaceful? It's very difficult in Kali Yuga. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this simple formula, which His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj practically in every lecture he mentions about this. Trunadapi sunichena tarora visivashnana amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. So this is the only way we can be peaceful in this world. So what is that? Trunadapi sunichena. We are humbler than the blade of grass. So what grass is? Why the humbler than the blade of grass? Because no matter how much you trample on grass, it doesn't complain. Doesn't complain. And Taroriva Sahishnana, it's like we should be tolerant than the trees. Why trees called tolerant? Because even if you go to cut the tree, it doesn't say anything, he gives you shelter. You throw the stones and get the fruit. Tree doesn't say anything. And amanina manadena. So to respect every living entity, no matter what. That is the verse in Bhagavad Gita. Shunicheva swapakecha pandita samadarshina. So Brahmana sees equal, he sees elephant, dog and dog eater. Brahmana, he sees them equally because he is situated in higher platform. So how that is possible to see everyone equal? Bodily platform, it is not possible. In bodily platform, we discriminate between man, woman, kid, poor, rich, black, white, American, Indian, Brahmana, Shudra. So many divisions are there on the bodily platform. And in Kali Yuga, these division want to be prominent. Man want to be superior, or woman want to be superior, America want to be superior, India want to be superior, China want to be superior, because no one is superior. They may be superior for some time, but so to respect everyone, irrespective of whoever they are, and to the extent to respect someone who is disrespecting you. Now that's the most difficult thing. To respect everyone who respects you is kind of possible. But to someone who disrespects you, not possible. Correct? So why? Expectations. So Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita teaches you, more you expect in this world, more you will be disappointed. So sadhu or Vaishnava means to keep our necessities minimum to maintain this body. Minimum to maintain this body. The more we have, more we are going to get disturbed. So therefore, whatever required to maintain the body and soul. And whatever you have, if you engage in Krishna's service, there should not be any problem. But the mind and the world is so difficult. We are dealing with so many people. Like, see, I always tell this, our devotee situation like Bhishma. Bhishma, he is staying and working with, can you imagine people he's working with? Dhritarashtra, Shakuni, Duryodhana, Karna, all Duryodhana, everybody, you can mention all the anarthas are there in everybody. They are envious, they are proud, greedy, So all this, but Bhishma is staying with them, serving them. But still he has his own identity. In his heart, he is loving Krishna. In his heart, he is well-wisher of Pandava, even though he is staying. So, once you try to be a devotee in this material world, his position becomes like Bhishma. Now, you have to go to work in an office. People are like blind to the spiritual life or blind to the real purpose of life. People are proud. People are hankering for positions. People are hankering for power. People are hankering for money. So you have to stay among all these people, but still you have to be pure in heart. It's practically impossible. Practically impossible. Unless you have some knowledge, unless you have some association which will help you to keep that consciousness. Therefore, Krishna explains that person who is a devotee, Krishna compares it as a lotus flower. Lotus flower, grows in a dirt, but it is not affected by dirt. In spite of being in dirty place, the lotus flower is very, very attractive. Have you ever seen lotus flower? It's in the dirt. It's not properly, doesn't grow in a good clean water. It always grows in a dirt. So the devotee is like that. That's why he's called Saragraha. Devotee is called Saragraha. And he takes whatever is required and whatever he has to engage in Krishna's service. In that way, his consciousness is very, very, very high consciousness. So because he is the highest in consciousness, he has to tolerate others, those who are in lower consciousness. Tolerate. Now, that is the only way you can progress in higher consciousness. Right? Just like when you go to school, if you are always getting grade 1, there are so many people envious of you, although they are not telling. Well, everybody is there to get number 1, but only one person gets number 1. So there is a lot of competition and a lot of material world, there is a lot of greed and everything. So when we come in the Vaishnava community, we need to keep all those things in background. When we come here, just like one time I was in Vrindavan, sacred place, Krishna's birthplace, and where Krishna performed so many leelas. So in Vrindavan, so there was very nice kind of a board outside the temple, where you keep your shoes. It's a good suggestion, and the board read, "Keep your bad thoughts with the shoes here," and then enter in the temple. So it is not only shoes we are keeping out. Coming into the temple, coming into the Vaishnava means you keep your own selfish desire, selfish thoughts outside. So removing shoes, why we remove the shoes? Because it collects dirts of everywhere we go. So mind is same as shoes. It collects dirt, it collects all the consciousness wherever we go. Wherever we go. And when we are coming to like a temple, it's like coming here to clean our consciousness. And clean our consciousness, to be in good consciousness. So whatever our thoughts are, just leave behind. Don't enter into temple with whatever I, thinking I. That I destroys everything. It don't let you see the reality. So here we come, Lord, thy will be done. Temple is a place where thy will be done. Krishna's desires is the highest. And in that atmosphere, Krishna, he sees all together they are all engaged in one service. And what is that? Devotional service. Everyone is. And that doesn't matter what is our background outside. It doesn't matter. So when we come into that consciousness. But if we have a little bit of ego which we carry in the corporate world outside, because outside people are glorified according to their position in the society. But in the temple you come, there is only one position, servant. No matter whether you are a prime minister or whether you are a sweeper. So here is only one, that we are all servant. We are all servants of Krishna. There is only one Lord. And that consciousness actually brings peacefulness. That consciousness. So temple is to come and learn that consciousness and then go into the world of Dhritarashtra, Vidura, Karna and Shakuni, those who are wicked, proud, selfish, So at least we are clean. And by our influence, we can help the people also to clean their heart, clean their, consciousness. So this is Prabhupada is talking here. So in the purport that why devotees can be united, the only one things bring them to unity, and that is we are the servants of Krishna. And everything is on ego level. When you think anything other than that, that creates a confusion in mind, that creates a disturbance within our mind also, and also that creates a disturbance in the society too. So therefore, it is very important to give up our selfish, motivated desires behind, and unitedly work serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when it comes to the practicality, you see everybody is coming with different background. So our mindset becomes what we associate with, whatever our upbringing is, or whatever we are associating with, and that's how our mindset becomes like that. And the same thing can be seen differently by different people. Same thing, just like a rose flower. Where rose flower, if some artist says, he says, wow, what a beautiful flower, I can make a beautiful picture of it. And if some girl or boy is in love, they say, oh, this is a pretty flower, I can present it to my fiancé or whatever friend, such a beautiful. He thinks about his lover. And the one who has pollen, he says, no, take this away from me. I don't want to be with that. And if some devotee, he takes that flower, brings this to offer to Radha Muralidhar. So flower is one, but the people looking are different. Now people, those who are looking at is, they are different. So we have to choose whom we are associating with. If you have pollen, then we are associating with people with have pollen. Those who are like into girlfriend, boyfriend, presenting everything to them, so we have to be like them. So we have to choose a consciousness that this flower belong to Krishna. So all people coming here, they come with this consciousness, everything belongs to Krishna, then there is no fight. The Kali Yuga doesn't enter. There is no fights and there is no misunderstanding, because everyone is together. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining that we should be like a blade of grass. So what does that mean? That we should not get unnecessarily feel insulted, disrespected, or even dishonored, because everything is meant for the body. Sometimes in this material world, even in devotional circle, Prabhupada is mentioning, even in Krishna consciousness, it happens. Sometimes we are misunderstood, sometimes there is a lack of communication. So even though you are doing good for that person, still that person becomes, confused and starts criticizing and all these things. So we should not so much worry about dishonor, honor, all these things, because these are the dualities of this material world. So if you get honor, you are going to be dishonored. So this is the duality of the world. But what Krishna expects from us, to come raise above duality. And that is only possible on the platform of soul, because soul is connected to Krishna. It has nothing to do with this material world. So that is only possible that we can come over the duality. So we have to be humble. That's one of the quality of a Brahmana. He is always humble, you know. So tolerant than the tree. So what is that tolerant? People will abuse, people will insult, all these things again. So we should not give much attention to all those things, and we should respect. So what is that respect? So in Sanskrit it is called namaste. So nama means I offer my obeisance. Aste means the Lord situated in your heart. So actually we are not offering obeisances to that person. We are offering obeisances to the person who is sitting in everybody's heart. No? So in that consciousness makes us realize that we are all parts and parcel of Krishna. And we should not look at their whatever their bad conditioning and everything. I believe Jesus also says the same thing. You know, hate the sin, not the sinner. I heard about that. Hate the sin, not the sinner. So why? Because he is not actually a sinner. He somehow got into that conditioning, somehow he got into that circumstances. But originally he is Satchidananda. He is full with good qualities. Only thing they are covered. Only thing they are covered. So he is in a process of cleaning it. He is in a process of cleaning the consciousness from boss anu boss to das anu das. It's a big cleaning is required, correct? So sometimes you see when you are traveling on the road, we can see the big boards are there, work in progress. So in ISKCON particularly we are together. Everybody should have that slate, you know, work in progress. We are all work in progress. Nobody is perfect here. We are all work in progress. Everybody is working. So when there is a work in progress, there is always detours are there. There is always some, holes are there. We have to be careful, right? And there are so many things are there. So we should, as a Vaishnava community, we should not get affected by these detours and everything. So everybody comes here with certain conditioning, everybody comes here with certain background, everybody comes here with certain thought. You know, there are so many people, Krishna explained 4 kinds of people come to me. Somebody has come to ask for money, somebody has come for something else. You know, we don't know. But most important thing, Prabhupada says, they have come to take shelter of Krishna. That is their qualification. Everything else, even if they have come with some material motive. Now there is wonderful, there was one devotee who just left his body about couple years ago. Haridas in Mumbai. You know, I got his nice association when I joined. Now he came with the intention to steal Prabhupada's golden ring because he saw that in a Back to Godhead magazine. No, so he got Back to Godhead magazine. He didn't understand anything from that magazine. He saw the golden ring, you know, and he came to Prabhupada to steal the golden ring. And even though he was sitting, Prabhupada is talking nice Krishna Katha and preaching and everything, his complete attention was how I can steal the ring from Prabhupada's hand. You know, it is not possible. It's just sitting with people there. It is not possible. But you know, your mind works the way you think, correct? So he was trying to get something, and he's just thinking in his mind. So he is not paying any attention to what Prabhupada is saying or everything. So he comes there, and everybody is gone. Now he's the only person sitting there, and Prabhupada removes the ring and gives to him. You know, Prabhupada gives to him, and that is how he says, "How did you understand my mind?" You know. But see, he came to steal, but he became a full-time devotee. He said, you understood me more than I understand myself. Correct? And that is what the reality of everybody. Krishna knows us better than what we know ourselves. So we have to give full hand to Krishna to clean our heart. More and more he comes, he gives us mercy. We can see more and more we are, when we come close to Krishna, we can see how much we were, completely in a mess or completely in suffering and completely in ignorance. You know, so I always like to give this example of an intoxicated person. You know, intoxicated person, he don't know who is he, where is he, what is he doing. You know, at least in America, intoxicated people don't see, lying on the side of the road. You know, in India, it is a common sign. People are lying on the side of the road. You know, nobody cares for them because everybody knows. You know, sometimes my wife, when he first time came to India, And when she was trying, Prabhu, Prabhu, go and help him. He's, he's about to die. I said, don't worry, he's not about to die. And she used to get angry. You don't have any compassion. What kind of Vaishnava are you? You should be compassionate to all the people, those who are suffering. I said, he's not suffering. He is intoxicated. We are used to from the childhood, correct? So yes, the compassion has to be there, but my compassion is not going to work on him, correct? So we are all intoxicated. Now we are all intoxicated in this world. And what is that? He is intoxicated with some kind of a liquor or whatever that is called. I don't know all the names. So he's intoxicated, correct? Therefore, he don't know the reality. Where is he? What is he doing? But who is not intoxicated, he understand he is intoxicated. He understands he is not in a good condition. He understands that he is drunk. He understands he is suffering. But who is not intoxicated? So the intoxication is of many kinds. There is the intoxication of money, intoxication of sex, intoxication of power, intoxication. So many kinds of intoxications are there. And when we are intoxicated with all these things, we are not able to see the reality. So therefore, we come in the association, one who is not intoxicated, and that's a sadhu. He is not intoxicated. He is seeing, because he is listening to Krishna and associated with devotees who have clean heart. They are not intoxicated. So therefore, we take the association of those clean-hearted Vaishnavas and try to understand their philosophy. Now, there may be some people who are work in progress. They may have some kind of little intoxication left or whatever that is. But at least we give them association, and we give them Krishna's mercy so that they can lift themselves. Uddared atmana atmanam atmanam na avasadayet. So that is the purpose of human life, to lift our consciousness from animal consciousness, that is like a intoxicated consciousness. So when we are doing that, different people will have different understanding, different consciousness, different conditionings, or different thoughts than the Krishna consciousness. So everybody, you can see, everybody is on different level. But when they enter the temple, we should only think about they are here to serve Krishna. We don't see their conditioning. We don't see their habits. We don't see, all these things. And those who are on higher platform of clean heart, they try to help others, not by comparing, I'm better than you. That is not the way you help people. With a compassion, these things are not good for you. I was also like that one time. But because I gave up all those things, now I can see my consciousness, the level of my purity in heart, the level of understanding myself and the whole material nature, and coming close to God. It's possible by practicing this process of Krishna consciousness, making Krishna as the center of our life. That is only possible, right? So therefore, basically, what the ISKCON is sometimes Prabhupada explained, this is like a hospital, hospital. When we go to hospital, what happens? Why people are in hospital? Because everyone has some disease. And somebody is a chronic disease, somebody is, is like they're almost at the end of their life, somebody is just there for 8 days. But purpose of being in hospital, everybody is sick. So that person should not criticize, oh, you have a TB, you have a cancer, you have this, why I am here. That is the most important thing. So when we come to take shelter of Krishna, in the temples of Prabhupada created. So what is the Prabhupada's mode? No matter Prabhupada is sitting here as a doctor, no matter what kind of disease people have, he has a mantra that can cure any disease. To the degree of disease of material nature, bhava roga. Any doctor don't know in this material world. Even if you get 10 PhDs in medicine, you will not understand this roga. This disease can only be detected by sadhu, without any thermometer or without any stethoscope. Just by seeing in behavior, sadhu understand. What kind of we are all going in bhava roga. So this kind bhava roga is a disease of material nature. Because of this body, you don't have to go anywhere else. So the purity of consciousness. It is on, we are trying to be develop our consciousness. So some are working, some may be finding it difficult, for some one thing is easy, other thing is not easy. So we are different thing, different people are different consciousness, different people are different level of understanding, different people are different level of faith. But to bring all together, everybody forgets everything at the time of kirtan. Everybody forgets everything at the time of prasadam, correct? Everything forgets everything about katha. And that is what Krishna wants us to do 24 hours. And that's what Krishna says. Who is a devotee? Machita madgata prana bodhayante parasparam kathayantescha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So my devotees are always conversing with each other about Krishna. That's it. And when we forget that, immediately Maya attacks. If you don't think of Krishna, you have to think of yourself. And when you think of yourself, it is selfish. And you can go to any extent to fulfill our selfish desires. You can go to any extent. So sometimes it is in the garb of Krishna consciousness, this ego also comes. We bring that thing even in temple sometimes. So the person who is in knowledge has to be humble and has to be forgiveness is another quality of a Brahmana. Why? Because somebody else is doing something because he do not know. We try to help him, try to make him understand, how to raise in the consciousness and develop this quality of serving. And through the service, the process of cleanliness begins. So just to wrap up everything, when I was coming to US in 95, first time His Holiness Radhanath Swami asked me to come to New Vrindavan, to serve there. And he called me in his room and he said, it will be a culture shock for you. And you are from a Brahmana family and you have not seen America. It's going to be a culture shock for you. You will be completely shocked to see the people, So then I said, Maharaj, what should be my mood when I go to New Vrindavan, when I go to America? So Maharaj says, if you remember these three things, and these three things not only help me in New Vrindavan, in my total life of Krishna consciousness. It will be very, very important. The first thing Maharaj said, do not judge. Don't look at any devotee or any person coming to a temple, don't judge. Don't judge anybody. Second thing he said, don't compare anybody. Don't compare between two devotees. Third thing he said, don't take any sides. Don't take any sides. This person is talking this person is talking, don't take any sides. And then he says, become a temple president. How you can do these three things and being a temple president? A temple president, those who are in managerial position, they know you have to compare, you have to judge, and you have to take side. How you can do that? Then they said, Maharaj, it is practically impossible. It's practically impossible. Then Maharaj said, that's a challenge. That's a challenge. Now, how you do that? Unless it is your seva, don't judge anybody. Unless it is your seva, don't compare anybody. And unless it is your seva, don't take sides. Right? Unless it is my seva. If it is your seva, how to do it? Not with the pride, but with the compassion. You have to compare. Correct? If someone comes, you are trying to preach somebody, then you have to compare. If you are drinking tea or smoking cigarette is not good. Correct? You have to compare. Not smoking and you are comparing there and you are judging. All three things are happening there. Correct? So, but we do that with the compassion. Depending upon our relationship with that person, whether he is able to or capable to understand our instruction, or in the name of preaching, we are completely, what is that called, freaking out. Oh, I don't want to be in Krishna consciousness anymore. You are telling me so much to do. We have to have a personal relationship, correct? So these three things, will solve many of our problems in the Vaishnava community. We don't judge. Everybody is here we offer respect to them. Just like Raghunath Das Goswami, he will offer 200,000 dandavats. And he didn't care who that person is. Not only person, he will offer dandavats to even to the pig. Because pigs and dogs in Vrindavan also are devotees. They are just, that's their last life, according to the scriptures. So in that way, of course, pigs and dogs don't come in the temple. At least human beings, we have to learn to understand that they are here, I am their servant, nothing else, in what way we can help them. So this is the way if we keep our consciousness, then our mind will be peaceful. And if you start expecting something, even if you are standing in front of Krishna and taking darshan, your mind is not allowing you to see at Krishna. Now, if you have some separate desire other than seeing Krishna, standing in front of the Lord, our mind takes us away because I have something different desire. Correct? So, temple, when we come, it is called mandira. What does it mean? Your mind is here to clean. Dira means to clean. So, mandir is a place where mind is get cleaned, your consciousness is get cleaned. So, whatever thoughts in your mind, that's why I said keep it at a shoe rock and don't bring them here. Correct? So, in that way, there can be harmony in Vaishnavas. Otherwise, we will have a different of opinion about everything. So, in this way, only we can help each other. Therefore, it is called Sankirtan. We have to appreciate each other's service. We have to appreciate each other's service. Another example I can give, we did a first big program in Chowpatty, and it was about 5,000 people came. For the first time we did a big program. And Maharaj was doing kirtan, I was playing kartal, big Vampur kartal, sitting next to him. And 5,000 people, our Sunday feast crowd used to be 200 people. But that's how everyone endeavored so much. We brought 5,000 people, it was a big ground. And Maharaj gave a talk about Jharkhand Leela, where deers and tigers are, they are embracing and kissing and dancing together in the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, this is the way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he brought even tiger and deer together. It's not an easy thing, correct? At least two human beings can come together. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that. So, in that sense, then after that katha, he said, we did a lot of dancing. And after the kirtan, I said, Maharaj, today's program was very nice. And you know what Maharaj said? It is because of you. I said, why because of me? What did I do? I said, Maharaj, everybody has come to see you. Everybody has come to hear you. He said, no, they are all here because you all did efforts of calling them. You are playing kartal, Satyavat Prabhu is playing mrudanga, and people are dancing in front. If you are not there, what I can do? This is how we have to see. Whatever I am in Krishna consciousness is because of the help of others. Otherwise, why I will be here in the temple? So the more you recognize, every individual you will find they have helped you some or other way. Even a new devotee just came for the first time in the temple, we can learn from him. Right. So this is the basis what called Sankirtan movement. Everybody's contribution is important. May not be important for me, but for Prabhupada this is important. So we have to understand we have come into a place in the house of Srila Prabhupada and everybody is a guest of Prabhupada. Our duty is to serve him. We don't come here for some recognition, we don't come here for position or anything. And in that way, we can have this Vaishnava community that self is no self, not only to keep it last. We don't think about. Another example is Jayananda Prabhu. I met many of devotees who were preached by Jayananda Prabhu in New Vrindavan. So they tell, one of the best story I liked about Jayananda Prabhu is, he was driving taxi and Prabhupada has mentioned, he gave a big donation, for one of Prabhupada's books. And morning, he was a temple president too. And he will do everything in the morning. In the evening, after he'll coming from taxi, he will take care of all the devotees and everything. He will make sure everybody has nice prasad, nice place to stay, nice clothes to wear. But he had all the, ripped up clothes and everything. But he will make sure everybody has everything. And always smiling. So one devotee asked him, Jayanand, how are you 24 hours? Always, whenever we see you, we hardly see you eating, we hardly see you sleeping. But in spite of that, how you are so blissful all the time? So blissful all the time. How you are happy all the time? Then Jayanand Prabhu's answer is so good. He said, I don't think about my happiness. I try to make everybody else happy. And in that I become happy. So similarly, if you try to make Krishna happy, if you try to make Vaishnavas happy, we automatically become happy because we are the reflection of Krishna. We are the reflection of Krishna. So that is our original consciousness. We are serving Krishna, and in that process, our consciousness is becoming cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. So this is a hospital. We are here to take treatment, meet a doctor, take the medicine, and try to help each other. So I would like to stop here. There may be time for one or two questions. Hare Krishna. Or comments? Anybody has? Yes, Prabhu?
Yes, Vrindavan Prabhu, thank you. Really enjoyed your speech. I just wanted to clarify the third instruction that Radhanath Swami Maharaj gave you.
Yes.
I believe you said
Don't take sides. Yeah.
I didn't quite understand what you mean by don't take sides. If you could clarify, please.
So in ISKCON, they see there are sometimes people talk. Just one example I'll give you what. In New Vrindavan, in the early 90s, there was a whole controversy in ISKCON, whether Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should have peacock feather or no. Now tell me, how many people agree that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should have peacock feather? Raise your hands.
Should have what? Peacock feather.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Correct? How many people think that he should not have peacock feathers? See, there is fighting. Can you imagine? They are fighting. Correct? Both of them can prove from Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and so many literatures. So both of them are right. So if you take this side, you are offending this side. If you take this side, you are offending that side. So how to solve it? How to solve it? That's why let the authority decide. So what did Maharaj said in the controversy? He was the GBC of New Vrindavan. So he said, whenever people who want to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a devotee, they don't want to put the peacock feather, we should accept. And other side should respect their opinion. And when those devotees want to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as original Krishna, they can put the peacock feathers and other people should respect that. So that is the way you solve it. Correct? Yeah. So that is taking side. Because if you take anything you take in ISKCON, both have some, of course they are all speaking from Prabhupada's books. And they both want to serve Prabhupada. That Prabhupada is their life and soul. So if you take a side, you are taking other person, what's happening, you are criticizing or not actually offending them. Correct? So I forgot to mention one point. So what is the criticism and correction? No, we hear that we should not criticize devotees. So what does exactly criticize means? You go and tell that person to help him to, suppose if somebody is doing something wrong, you go and tell that person, Prabhuji, this is not good, this is not proper Vaishnava behavior. If he can understand you, you are his friend, or go and tell his authority, if you cannot do, and forget about it. Forget about it. That's the correction. And criticism is you don't tell that person, you don't tell the authority, you tell the whole congregation. So it may be true, it may not be true. Unnecessarily you create confusion among the Vaishnava community. And it doesn't help you, doesn't help that person, doesn't help that person. So if we have some issue with some devotee, don't talk it with public. Talk with that person if he's your friend or to the authority and then forget it. Look him as a devotee because Krishna wants him. I may not like him, but Prabhupada likes him. Correct? So this is what it means. Thank you. Thank you for, I didn't mention, yes, Prabhu. Yeah, yes.
Thank you. A very important subject. It's the foundation of association. I love it. Here in New York City, especially, I don't know if it's generally speaking, in America, but in New York, sometimes you come together and meeting people, and like a group of 3 or 4 talking about the subject, and then you're gonna raise your point for first time in that group, and immediately as somebody else is gonna uh, discuss and express his idea on your take, then sometimes the people say right away, where do you come from? What your nationality? Where are you? So it's like, to me, it feels like the first judgment is ready to be placed. Once I frame you where you came from, now I know what level you might be, and I know how I'm going to address to you, how I'm going to present to you, and that now I see how you form your idea. So, and sometimes I feel so uncomfortable because I never go that route towards conversation with people. Sometimes I respond, well, how far you want to go? 2,000 years ago, my past incarnation was in Jerusalem. How, you want to go further? So try to, please, this is not the route.
You're right. Other side to that is, in Sanskrit it's called Paramarthik and Vyavaharik. Paramarthik is the absolute truth, Vyavaharik is relative truth. So if somebody asks me, oh, where are you from? I'm from India. So they want to know more about the culture, more about Krishna consciousness. In that idea, if they are asking, I will not feel offended. Right? Because their idea of asking me, where are you from, is they want to know more about Krishna. So that sense, I don't mind telling I'm Indian, even though I have preached everybody, you are not this body. Right? I'm preaching everybody else, you are not this body. And that's called Vyavaharik. So if I go, I come from India, if I go to the airport and they ask me, what's your name? I said, I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, I don't have any name, you know. So it's going to be a kind, it's going to be like, he say, hey, keep it with you. So there are certain, what you make the point is one sense right. If you think that I am better than whatever you are, then what you're saying is, it is wrong. We should not go with a personal identity of the person. We can ask him so that we can serve him better. Serve him better. Oh, we ask him, oh, what do you do? I do business, you know. So his person is thinking how I can exploit him. Then that is selfish. If he thinks, oh, he's a businessman, I can engage him in Krishna's service. So that's another thought. So there are two ways, but your way is also, nobody should look the way you are saying. You know, we should look him as he has come as a servant. But sometimes, personal information, we ask people, what do you do, go to the college, and these, that, all these things are there. So they should not be impediment in our compassion and in our giving Krishna consciousness. I hope that's okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Vrindavan Prabhu ki.
Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai.
We will now have our tea ceremony for Sri Sri Radha Mulinar or Chandra. So please, you can hold the chairs, stack the cushions out of the way. Please, we will sing and dance for the words.
Radha Madhukari Bhagavan ki. गौरचंद्र भगवान की नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी सत्याचारिणे। Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Sri Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Guru Shishya Parampara ki, Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki, Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki, Vrindavan धाम की, मथुरा धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, मायापुर नवदीप धाम की, गंगा मैया जमुना मैया की, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की, गोलोकेर प्रेम धन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्री राधा मुरलीधर गौरचंद्र भगवान की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, दाय गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
Jai Shri Guru. Jai.
Hiranya
so much for leading us in Kirtan. So we are going to conclude today's program. A few announcements before we do that. So a couple things, there's always something going on at Bhakti Center. If you're not subscribed to our newsletter, if you're not subscribed to our WhatsApp group, please do let us know. Bhava Bhakti, I'm turning that over to you. Please let Bhava Bhakti know, and she'll make sure that you're on those email lists. There's so much exciting going on. So 2 quick call outs of programming coming up. So the first is next weekend, Saturday, April 19th. We are having a workshop called Transforming Relationships. It is run by Parthadas and Uttama Dasi, Prabhus. They are Srila Prabhupada disciples, and it will be an interactive seminar helping you to see relationships in a whole new way. So it should be very, very enlightening. We encourage you to come to that. And the second call out would be, we have a 4-day immersion with Dr. Urmila Desi, another incredible disciple. This will be a 4-day career Dharma coaching certification. So she has an incredible book, I believe called Career Dharma, that is all about understanding your career path as it relates to your purpose and Krishna consciousness. So if you're interested, please sign up for that as well. And then finally, just a note on Prashadam today in the back. So we will have some beautiful sanctified vegan food. Neil Madhavan sponsored this Prashadam for all of us on behalf of his wife Vishaka, in loving memory of her father Ramchandra Das. So we're very, very grateful and so happy that you're all here. This concludes our Sunday program. Any other announcements from you, Jaitai?
Sri Chaturthi is on the 11th of May. Next big festival.
Next big festival, mark your calendars, 11th of May. So we hope to see you all there. So thank you all so much. Oh, last thing, this is sorry, that was a psych out. This is a free program. This is a community-run program. So any donations are most appreciated. If you're inspired, there is QR codes by the Prashadam table and a bowl, of course, only if you're inspired, and we're so grateful that you're here. Thank you again. We hope to see you next week. Hare Krishna.